City Cast Pittsburgh is brought to you today by Jones Dairy Farm. They are a 7th-generation family-owned and operated meat maker with products like dry-aged bacon, all-natural sausage, and America's favorite center-cut Canadian bacon. Their premium meats are all gluten-free, perfect for busy mornings, and available all over the place here in Pittsburgh. I checked out the map on their website, jonesdairyfarm.com, and got back dozens of our grocery stores. You can even get their sausage in pork, chicken, or turkey, all no preservatives, no additives, no MSG, nitrates, or fillers. Just fresh ingredients from Jones Dairy Farm, making breakfast better since 1889.
Today on City Cast Pittsburgh, when I think about the holiday season, I think about spending time with my loved ones, eating great food, and giving and receiving thoughtful presents. What better way to combine all of this than giving the gift of a cooking class? If you still need a gift for the foodie in your life, we are sharing some of our favorite classes and workshops where you can learn to bake focaccia, pair wine and cheese, or create your very own box of truffles. It's Thursday, December 12th. I'm Mallory Falk, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm here with CityCast Sophia Lowe and Francesca DeBecco. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
We are so excited to be with you today because we've cooked up a great show for you,
Yes.
But first we wanted to talk about why we love what we do here at CityCast Pittsburgh and why we're asking you to become a member.
What you can do right now, just jump over to membership.citycast.fm.
Yes, we are in our year-end membership drive. And, one of the best parts of this job, I think, is getting to sit down with smart and interesting people who love Pittsburgh, who want to make it better.
Totally.
Yeah, and who want to help you and us better understand our city. That can mean talking to an expert about whether it's actually even a problem that Pittsburgh isn't growing, at least our population isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, it was talking to a couple people who are working to make sure more Pittsburghers have access to reproductive care.
Yeah, that was great.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people doing really cool work and who know the ins and outs of the city really well. Like, I really love this episode we did about the best thrift shops in Pittsburgh. Plus, that came with some recommendations for people who will also fix your clothes.
Very useful.
Yes, we love bringing you these useful conversations that help give you practical tips for exploring the city, and also the conversations that kind of just connect the dots of life here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we make this show and the Hey Pittsburgh newsletter because we think that getting solid news and information shouldn't just be about trudging through the serious stuff. It's about the in-between moments, the delightful surprises, the things that inspire us, whether it's celebrating the people and places that make Pittsburgh special or uncovering a hidden gem that you didn't know was right around the corner or diving into some of Pittsburgh's unique history. We cover it all.
Yeah, we have some weird history. Like, we did this episode about the ways people brutally insulted us over the centuries. It was really funny. People were mean. I think I can be meaner, but I'll come for people who hate Pittsburgh later.
Yeah, but those are just really great examples of the little joys that come alongside this knowledge that keeps you engaged and connected to Pittsburgh.
Right, because I'm very much reading national headlines and feeling very overwhelmed. You might be feeling the same way or a little uninspired or miserable. But you can take local action and support City Cast Pittsburgh and invest in the local stories about the city you care about. And like I mentioned before, you can become a member at membership.citycast.fm.
Yes, and your support, it really ensures that we get to continue doing this, connecting you to the news and the information that we hope inspires you, delights you, and helps you feel more engaged and connected to the city. If you couldn't live without us and the information that we're bringing you, please support us. And as a bonus, just this week, if you join, you'll get an exclusive CityCast Pittsburgh tote bag.
Woo!
This thing is so much sleeker than the average tote bag. It's black. It has a zipper at the top, so your stuff won't be falling all over the place. place, which I know is a challenge with tote bags. And yes, so that's only if you sign up this week at membership.citycast.fm.
I'm so excited that we have merch now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so nice. And forgive my little like TV advertisement pitch here, but for as little as $8 a month or $80 a year, you can really help us keep telling these stories, connecting these dots for Pittsburgh. Head to membership.citycast.fm to join us.
So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of City Cast Pittsburgh. And if you are already a member, thank you so much for supporting us already. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, that is truly the best gift that you can give to us. But now we're going to get to the gifts you can give to other people. So let's dig in. I can't help myself with the food puns today.
I'm keeping track. That's my new job.
Okay, now I feel a little pressure here, Sophia. But yeah, we've already talked on this show about some of the great material gifts that you can give to your friends and family this season, like the physical objects that they might love. If you haven't already, definitely go back and listen to our episode about the best local holiday markets in Pittsburgh. That one ran last Wednesday. But we know there might be people in your life who prefer getting the gift of an experience instead of a physical object. And in my mind, at least, some of the best experiences involve making and tasting food.
Obviously, who wouldn't agree?
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're sharing some of the best cooking classes. You can give us gifts. We also have options for all ages and, things for the 21 plus crowd. Some booze inclined friends can get some gifts too.
Yeah. So we're going to split it into 3 categories. First is classes that focus on drinks and appetizers, then classes that are focused on main courses. And finally, perhaps most importantly, classes that focus on making dessert. We're going to kick things off with that first category. So for people who might want to mix up a great drink or whip up a great appetizer. Sophia, why don't you kick us off with your first choice?
I will start off in the Strip District, obviously big food hub here in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And the PA Market has a ton of classes that tend to focus on wines and cocktails. And what's really great is they actually have a gift card option. So if you're kind of unsure when someone might be available, or maybe like me, I know nothing about wine. If I were giving a class to Megan, I would not try to guess what she's into. I would be so wrong.
Yeah, our host Megan Harris is the wine connoisseur on the team.
Yeah, so I would get this gift card and let her pick out whatever class that makes her heart happiest.
Yeah, and I think they have a wine library, they call it. Seems really interesting. And I hear really good things about their charcuterie platters. So maybe go, enjoy a class, get a bite to eat and a drink as well.
Very smart.
Francesca, what about you?
Yeah, so this one will sound familiar to longtime listeners. We actually did a class with Community Cultures that's led by Trevor Ring, and it's all about fermentation. You can actually find his fermented sodas. Pop.
I was going to say Francesca. Who took Francesca and replaced her with a bot?
I know. He calls them sodas, so I was trying to stay on brand for him, but who am I kidding? It's Pop. And so you can find them at the farmers markets, or you can learn how to make them yourself. That's what we did. We did a whole workshop, actually in Mallory's kitchen. It was so much fun.
It was very hands-on. We did like a blueberry herb soda, and we squished the blueberries with our hands. I'm from New Jersey. I'm going to keep saying soda. But, a very good sensory experience for me.
Yeah, definitely. And there's an array of other fermentation classes too. They range from like kombucha to sauerkraut, kimchi. I actually make my own kimchi at home, but I would love to learn from him too. Miso, ginger beer, mead. So there's so much to learn.
A whole variety, yeah.
And class prices are really reasonable. They range from about $20 to $25. So definitely take a look at the calendar and, book your next one with Trevor.
So moving from drinks to starters, appetizers, I'm going to recommend getting classes at Chantel's Cheese in Bloomfield.
Oh, yes.
Yes. They have tasting classes, which are led by a certified cheese professional. Sounds very fancy. And as they describe it, you get to immerse yourself in flavor, process, history, legend, and culture.
That's a lot more than I was expecting. I just expected cheese, cheese, cheese.
I mean, cheese is really complex and there's so much story that goes along with it, you know, depending on the different regions. I know they do region-specific classes, but Mallory, don't they have like a fun fondue class too?
Yeah, so these like tasting classes are, I guess, sort of their like fancier, more professional classes where you're really digging into history. And then they have these cheesy evenings that are the fondue classes that kind of have a more laid back vibe. And this one is cool because 4 people share one pot of fondue.
Oh.
I think this could be a really great gift for your friend group, like for all of you to share a pot of fondue and have a fun night together.
That's really cute.
So yeah, the prices for all of these vary, usually around like $60 to $100, and classes are in the evening from 7 to 9 p.m. But Francesca, you mentioned like different regional cheeses. I know they sometimes have classes focused on like Irish cheese, French cheese, as well as more general like wine and cheese tasting 101. There's a whole great variety for the cheese lover in your life.
Yeah, let's do it all. And, you know, if you want to keep the cheese party going, the Cheese Queen in Mount Oliver actually has really great classes too. This is more about arranging a board, you know, creating a perfect charcuterie board with meats, cheeses, fruits, and spreads. It's kind of like painting a canvas. So they teach you how to master that art in the Charcuterie Academy. And you can also book a private class. You just need a minimum of 4 people. So if you want to do a little, you know, fun outing for a group.
Fondue outing and then make your own cheese board outing.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. We actually did an episode with the Cheese Queen a little while ago where she told us some of her tips for building the perfect board. And it sounds like if you take one of her classes, she's kind of really there for emotional support, creative support when the time comes for you to actually build your board like later. Here's what she had to say.
One of my favorite things is after clients and customers take a charcuterie class with me is they send me pictures of their creations and it really makes me happy. Or they contact me and they say, hey, I'm going to put a charcuterie board together. What cheeses should I get? And I love giving them information and helping them kind of go through the journey.
So yeah, you're maybe building a longer term relationship with the Cheese Queen beyond just that one class.
Do you want to learn more about campaigns and politics, or want to get more involved in your local community? Attend the Ready to Run campaign training for women on Saturday, January 25th at Chatham University. It's hosted by the PA Center for Women in Politics. The nonpartisan campaign training is your one-stop shop to learn more, whether you're a newbie, just getting started, or are getting ready to launch your own campaign. The day-long program covers campaign basics like fundraising, communications, and developing your campaign plan. Past participants have gone on to win at every level of office, federal, state, and local. Plus, there's also a pre-conference for women of color on Friday night, January 24th. You can register at pcwp.org and click on Education and Training. Register now to get the early bird price.
Live Nation Pittsburgh and 102.5 WDVE proudly present Pittsburgh Plays The Cure at the Roxy Theater on Saturday, December 14th, 2024, one night only. If you're a fan of The Cure and you love tribute shows and you like hearing local artists, this is the performance for you. More than 30 Pittsburgh musicians will play tribute to The Cure by performing iconic hits like Just Like Heaven, Love Song, and Friday I'm in Love. This is the 5th installment of Pittsburgh's beloved concert series that celebrates legendary bands and showcases the amazing talent of local artists. And the best part is, while you're enjoying this music, you will also be supporting local musicians because proceeds benefit the Pittsburgh Plays Artists Fund. So don't miss out on Pittsburgh Plays The Cure this Saturday, December 14th at the Roxy Theater. Tickets are on sale now. Visit pittsburghplays.com for more details.
Hey, Andy McDaniel here. I'm Chief Creative Officer at City Cast. If you're like me, you're fatigued with the news right now. And yet here you are listening to today's show. I hope that is because City Cast is a bright spot in your media diet. We started City Cast out of the belief that local news can be not only informative, but useful, even delightful. We also believe that when people like you understand your city and your neighbors, it makes your city a better place to live. If CityCast does that for you, I hope you'll consider becoming a member. By listening to this show, you are already a part of what we're building. But when you become a CityCast member, you help ensure we stick around. Become a member of your local CityCast at membership.citycast.fm. That's membership.citycast.fm. And thanks.
Okay, so moving on to mains, we've got a lot of these classes. I'll start with Gaynor's School of Cooking in the South Side. So obviously, since they're a cooking school, they've got classes nearly every single day. And it's just so many different kinds of food. Like there's sushi, a soup and bread class, classes specifically about fine cooking. There's taco making, Cajun soul food. So I feel like no matter your friends or family's palate, there is something for them. And then there's also couples classes. There's a mommy and me cooking class geared for kids who are 2 to 5. I'm shocked that they're letting a 2-year-old in the kitchen. I would personally be terrified, but I guess there's some very talented 2-year-olds out there.
You got to start young. Yeah.
And then there's also a teen baking camp on the weekends, and that's geared toward ages 13 to 18. So say, your kid's super into Bake Off, have them go to this and bake for you.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, this sounds like a great gift if you have kids yourself, or maybe you've got like a niece or nephew or just some special child in your life who really loves to cook.
I love that. And you might recognize this spot from up in Allentown, but they actually moved to Swickley. Forma Pasta has, of course, pasta classes.
Yummy.
Where you can learn how to make a traditional dough with eggs and 3 different styles of pasta shapes. Maybe it's like a farfalle, like a bow tie, or a fettuccine. And then they give you tips on how to store and take care of the dough so you can really do it all at home. So their pasta making classes are on Thursdays, but at least once per month, they also host a Wednesday pierogi making class. So we know our Pittsburghers love that.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm glad they cater specifically for us.
Yeah. And I don't think it's too bad. It's $75 per person. And if you have like a gang of folks who'd like to learn along with you, they have private classes that can hold up to 20 people. So like maybe a birthday party or just like get everyone together for like a traditional Sunday dinner. Sounds like a lot of fun.
I love this because I'm sure lots of Pittsburghers like learned how to make pierogi from their grandma and think it would be absurd to have to pay for a class to learn. But like we were a Mrs. T's pierogi house where they were just straight from the freezer. So this is something I could certainly take advantage of.
There is nothing wrong with that either. I love a freezer food.
Thank you for the validation, Sophia. I appreciate it.
Of course. I've been eating chicken nuggets for a week now.
Mallory, you got another one for us.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend the Phipps Culinary Arts Program at Phipps Conservatory. They have a huge variety of classes. As I'm looking right now, they're offering things like Better Than Takeout, which includes making kung pao chicken, lo mein, and fried rice. There's a class on making focaccia where you learn how to make a floral design on top of the bread with like veggies, herbs, and flowers.
Ooh, those are always so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. And like if anyone could teach you how to make a nice floral design on a carb, I imagine it's the folks at Phipps.
Yes.
And then they also have virtual class options, which maybe this is a great gift for somebody who doesn't live in Pittsburgh, maybe a Pittsburgh expat.
Smart.
Yeah. Classes usually last like around an hour and a half to 3 hours, and the prices range. So virtual classes are around $35. And then if you go in person, that's somewhere in the range of like $55 to $80.
What I love about this is that if you have a Phipps Conservatory membership, that doesn't just get you access to the beautiful botanical gardens, but you actually get a discount to these classes. So, you might as well just gift a membership too.
Yeah, throw it in there.
Okay, so I have been peeking at the classes at Chop Walk Talk. So they are on the edge of Bloomfield. Some that look really yummy to me are a Thai and Vietnamese cooking class, dim sum, there's German food, a Tuscan dinner. There is so much to do, and I would love to learn how to make my own dim sum. I have steamers that I never use, so maybe that's a personal gift to me. These classes are usually about 3 hours and about $95. They are also all BYOB if you like drinking while cooking.
Oh, that's so fun. I think that'll definitely appeal to a lot of folks. I'm going to move over towards Swissvale. It's really close to Regent Square, and talk about the Istituto Mondo Italiano. It's actually located inside of the Wilkins School Community Center. It's a cultural center and a language school, but they also have really awesome cooking classes. Of course, I came to talk about pasta today.
On brand.
They have a 101, a specific ravioli class,
Yum.
another one for tortellini. And then there's another where you can make 5 different pasta shapes with one dough. So really getting a bang for your buck there. And then they have other options like Italian street food, mozzarella making, cannolis, tiramisu. And this all ranges from $60 to like a little over $100. And they have gift certificate options. So if you want to get it now and use it later.
I want cannolis.
I want to learn how to make all of the pasta. Not going to lie. That's clearly my love language.
Mine too, Francesca. I love a good pasta. So I'm going to recommend booking a class with Chef Aleka Sweeney. You might have heard her on our podcast before. She's the chef behind Secret Menu Social. So in addition to these kind of secret pop-up dinners, she offers these classes. There's a real range. So you can learn everything from knife skills to making a custom 3-course menu, pasta from scratch, if, you know, one of the classes we've already recommended isn't enough for you. And then she has some kid-friendly options too, like a bagels and pretzel class and a cupcake decorating class, which sound really sweet. I can't wait until my daughter is old enough to make bagels and pretzels with me. So Aleka, I'll be contacting you in several years.
Just put a pin in that one.
Yeah. So these classes range in price from $75 to $105. The minimum for a class to run is 3 people. So this is one where you kind of reach out and say, hey, I have this interest. I have my guest list. Come teach us how to cook.
And then I want to wrap up with one bonus class. This is not something you can gift, but it is a class that is fully free. So I just learned about this. I've been to Woolies in the Strip a bunch, but never on the 3rd Saturday of the month, which is when they host a free cooking class. So you can just head to their website to see what the theme is for each month. So the one coming up this December 14th at 10 a.m. is all about the Feast of 7 Fishes.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is a great gift for someone on a budget. Like maybe you just treat someone to like a drink or a little treat before or after the class.
That's smart. Get your coffee, go learn how to cook, maybe do your grocery shopping. Everything's there.
Yeah.
We love a meal on a budget. Guys, this all sounds so delicious, but can we please get to the dessert?
Absolutely. I love dessert. And one place I go all the time for sweet treats is Third Space Bakery in Garfield.
Yes.
If you've listened to the show, you've heard me rave about their cookies.
We're big fans.
So they're a bakery and teaching kitchen. They have classes that change pretty often, and not all of them are dessert centric. So there's things on the calendar right now for a Mediterranean cooking class, cooking recipes from the cookbook Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, like a tea party class. There's so many.
Yeah, and they have a sourdough 101 class. They told us about it when we stopped in and visited. It's really popular. They've actually put them up through April. So yeah, they fill up quick. You better go and get yours now.
Yeah, when we went to Third Space, 2 of the people there, Erica Bruce and Chloe Newman, talked to us about just how popular these sourdough classes are and just how much people seek out their wisdom on sourdough.
We definitely have people coming up all the time, you know, outside of class saying, hey, can you help me? This is looking a little strange.
Sourdough 101 is like our by far best selling class. Yeah, it sells out immediately every time. So yeah. David is ruling the world.
Yes. Our starter, David Dowie, is widespread in Pittsburgh now, probably.
I am so obsessed with their sourdough starter name. That is so cute. And sourdough's a big focus of Third Space generally. One of the owners, Chloe, she's been working with sourdough for a really long time.
Maybe about like 8 or 9 years ago, I discovered sourdough baking and was totally fascinated by it. It was completely different from any kind of baking that I'd experienced before. And I just went head over heels for sourdough baking and was baking loaves for all my friends and for family. And when it got to the point where I was baking like 12 or so loaves out of like one home oven a week, I was like, okay, I need to do something. Something's got to give.
But, gifting somebody a sourdough class, like you're basically gifting them a lot of work. I don't know. If I received this, it would make me feel really stressed out and anxious because.
So just know your audience.
I don't have the time to go through this. Yes, know your audience. Maybe just like buy someone some baked goods made with sourdough and deliver that as the gift instead. Or you could get them a class at A519 Chocolate. This might be a smidge less intimidating, but no less tasty.
Ooh.
They're in Millvale, and they've got a couple really cool looking classes. So one on chocolate and one on confections. The chocolate class is $100 per person, and you get to make a box of 9 chocolate truffles. So this includes making the chocolate shell, the ganache, piping the chocolate, the whole process from start to finish.
That sounds incredible.
Very intricate.
Yeah, I would feel extremely fancy doing this. Then there's this confections class that has a tasting element where you can try different types of sugar. And you'll make caramel sauce, vanilla flavored marshmallows, and candied nuts. This one is also $100 a person.
Oh, that's an ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
All toppings.
Yeah, so if you've got someone in your life who's like an ice cream sundae buff, maybe this is the gift for them. So I know we've talked about a lot of different classes. If you want to make sure you didn't miss any of them, you want the full listing, make sure you visit our website, pittsburgh.citycast.fm. We've got all of these classes and more rounded up there if you want to gift one of these to a loved one or take a class yourself. That's all for today here on City Cast Pittsburgh. One more reminder that our end of year campaign is underway right now. You can become a City Cast Pittsburgh member to support journalism that connects you to our city and get an exclusive tote bag. You've just got to go to membership.citycast.fm right now to join. Remember, you only get that tote bag if you join this week. And if you're already a member, thank you so much. We could not do this work without you. We will be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you then.
Yeah, and they have a sourdough one-on-one class.
101.
What did I say?
One-on-one.
Sorry.
That'd be like just a private meeting with a loaf of sourdough.
I'm so sorry.